Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm just going to talk about my entire path from the time I came to Canada, how I came to Canada, why I chose Canada, from there all the way to becoming a citizen here, and currently what I'm doing, what processes are going for me. So I'm going to talk about the entire timeline so that you guys will get an idea of how long it takes, like how long it took, and what is the entire process, how to go about it and all those things. So that's gonna be this video, so let's get into it. So I'm not gonna get into lots of details about each thing on this video. This video is just only about the timeline and how long it took for each process, and when did I apply something, and how long it took and all those things. I'm just gonna tell about the dates and the years, like how it went. So yeah, so starting with the first thing, I came to Canada in 2016 as an international student. So I took a PG certificate course, which is a 8-month program for VFX in Seneca College. I applied to 5 different colleges and I chose Seneca from that. So that was the first thing. I applied for September 2016, this fall intake, and I came here on the first week of September. But the process for that, I pretty much started it, I think probably 8 to 9 months before that. I wrote IELTS in December of 2015 and I got the IELTS result in Jan 16, and I started applying for colleges in Feb 16, and it took like 2 months for them to reply back. So I got an offer letter from Seneca in April 16, and then I paid the fees and did the GIC in May 16, and then I applied for visa in June 2016. It took like a month and a half. So I got the visa in July 2016 and I left for Canada, I think around the end of August 2016. The college started on the first week of September. So the entire student process was like around 8 months. I think that's like the ideal time. Even if you're applying for a January intake or May intake, have like 8 months. I think that's like sufficient time to prepare everything. So my course was 8 months, 2 semesters, 8 months, and my last day of college was, I think, the first week of May. So I didn't have any breaks. I just got a job on the last week of college and I started immediately after college. So I started working on May 2017, beginning of May, and then I didn't actually get a very good job. It wasn't related to VFX, but I didn't get any other jobs, so I had to take that, and I worked there for like 3 to 4 months, and then I moved to another studio where I joined as a junior compositor in August. When it came to work permit, I basically had my study permit till November of 2017. So I didn't actually apply for work permit till I got a proper job. So during the entire period as a 3D compositor, stereo compositor, I worked on my study permit, but because I didn't have college, it's technically considered as a break, so I can work full-time. So I did those 4 months full-time on study permit, and once I got a job as a compositor, VFX compositor, then I applied for a work permit in August and I got it in October 17, and I got it for 1 year, so October 17 to October 18. That was 1 year of Canadian work experience, and I became eligible for a PR in August of 2018. But technically I became eligible in May of 2018 itself, but I didn't want to take the risk because I did work on study permit, it wasn't on work permit, so I waited till August. And then August 2018 I did my express entry profile and I got a score of 462. I think the minimum score at that time was like around 440, 445. Basically, when it comes to this CRS points and the rounds of invitation, they basically do a round every 2 weeks, and I just tried to track back on which days where the previous rounds were done, and I was able to find out like they did it like every 2 weeks on a Wednesday. So I exactly applied on the previous day, that is a Tuesday. So I applied on 21st of August, and because my score was above the minimum score, I got the invitation the next day. Just a little bit of planning, but it did work out. It was just a guess. So August 22nd I got the invitation, and they told me to submit the medical and the police certificate within like 30 days. And I think by the time of September 1st or 2nd week, I did submit both medical and the PCC, which is like the police certificate. So I submitted those and my PR application was in progress. And then I think my medicals were passed in October. My medicals got passed and I waited for another 2 months. I think the background check was completed in December 2018, and the final decision was made in January 2019. I got the final interview on the 25th of January. Just wanted to check the passport and they told me to sign a paper and they gave me the COPR. I think it took like around 2 to 3 weeks for me to get the PR card. So study permit period was like pretty okay because I was just going to college, I was just doing my demo deal and doing all that. But the work permit part was pretty stressful because I didn't know. Initially I only got a contract for like 6 months in the studios, like the 3D conversion studio, but I wasn't prepared to stay there for 6 months. I just wanted to move. But then even in the VFX studio, which I got my first job as a VFX compositor, even there I only got a contract for like 6 months, but I wanted like 1 year experience. But it's just like based on your performance and stuff, they just extend the contract to another 6 months. But it was a bit I won't say stressful, but it was a bit uncertain at that time because I didn't know whether I would even be eligible for PR. I was just trying it out, and so far, like from the beginning to right now, currently what I'm doing, I've never had the help of any consultancy, or I didn't do any application through a consultancy. I did everything on my own because I feel it's just much more simpler to do it ourselves, and you basically save like so much of money because if you go to a consultant, you're gonna basically pay double of what you're gonna actually pay for the fees. The transition from work permit to the PR, because my work permit expired in October 2018. Once my PR application was in, my work permit expired in a month. So I was just on implied status for like 4 months till I got the PR. That was like the most uncertain period because I didn't really know whether I'm gonna get a PR or not, because it's just I didn't even know like how the process goes and all that. I just submitted it and it was in progress. But then once I got the PR, it was all like different, so you don't have to really worry about the expiry date and all those things. So this overall period, I think it took around 2.5 years from the time you start as a student till you get a PR. It's the entire process is like 2.5 years, and my PR process alone was I think the processing time was 5 months. And as I said in my previous videos, like most people, they just stop here with the PR stage, but I just wanted to while this PR was in progress, I was just looking at like what is like the next thing, and I just came through like you can become a citizen, and I went through like what is the conditions for that. 2019 January I became a PR, and I think I became eligible to apply for citizenship I think in May 2021, and I applied for citizenship in May 2021, I think beginning of May, and that entire process took like 14 months. I got the final citizenship ceremony in July 2022, and that wasn't really like stressful because you don't really have to go outside of Canada. Like it's just a matter of waiting and patience. So but one thing is that once you get a citizenship, it just doesn't end there, because once you get your citizenship, you need to wait for your citizenship certificate to come in mail, which took like 2 weeks, I guess. So after I get that, I need to apply for a passport with that certificate, which again took like probably 2-3 weeks. I did apply on an urgent basis. I went to another location and then applied in person. And another thing is, once you get your Canadian passport, you need to go to BLS service, which is like the Indian visa service here in Canada. So you need to go to BLS and surrender your Indian passport first. So once you surrender your Indian passport, they give you a certificate for that. You use that certificate and you use your Canadian passport to apply for OCA card to travel to India. So OCA card is basically like a PR card for India. I had to apply for that, and that OCA card took like another 2 months to come. So that part was more stressful than even getting the citizenship, because it was all backlogged. Like BLS, you can't really go to any BLS service and apply in person. So I had to send all the application through courier, which was actually faster than actually going into the BLS center and applying, because people were lining up like around like morning 6:30 to actually get into it. I even went and tried there. I waited for like 2-3 hours. I wasn't able to get in. I think this whole part from becoming a PR to becoming a citizen, I think this part was around like 3.5 years. So it is longer than the previous one, but mostly, as I said before, like citizenship process is just mostly waiting. So the normal processing time for citizenship is 12 months, but for me it took like 14 months. So this entire process from an international student to becoming a citizen is 6 years, probably like 2 months less than 6 years. So it is a slow process. It's not like a short process. So, but as I said before, not many people actually want to go beyond that PR stage. So they are just like happy with the PR, and they don't really have the idea of becoming a citizen, all that. I mean, even if it's just PR, I think it would take around like 2.5 years to 3 years to come to that stage. Once I came to India, and then like we got married, and it was 2023. We moved here in June 2023 because we had to get the marriage certificate and all that. So once we got all the documents there, we submitted spouse sponsorship application from India. So we did an outland application, and then we applied for a visitor visa. So we thought when we were applying, like everyone said like there were like so many rejections for visitor visa and all that, but we got visitor visa in just like 20 days, which we didn't expect. And what we did was we booked the tickets for June, and then we came I think around like April, May, we called IRCC and we just withdrew the application, came to Calgary in June 2023, and then we did another inland application, and right now it's in process. Me and Monisha, we both will do that video once we get the PR, once we finish the process. I did try to talk to a consultancy to do this process, and they basically asked me, they literally had to pay like double, which I didn't want to, so I just thought like, it's not a huge thing. So we just did the application by ourselves. And so yeah, this is my timeline, my 6.5 years timeline. That's pretty much it, guys. I hope this video was useful. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, it's Manish.